Okay, it looks like we are live, and we got enough of a early start to have a little bit of a pregame show. A little bit of a pregame show. We haven't had one of those in a while. So there's the 231 stunner on the deck and ready to go as always. And let me see if I can find the show on my channel. There it is, part 2. Pre-game show. You can tell that I put this together in kind of a hurry because I reused a previous event. And the reason for that is Steve was going to do a show today, but he was unable to do so. So I said, I'll step in. I'll step in and get her done. Get her done. Our Wags is in the house. He says, I get your point on the question. How about a 3-year lockup? You can't sell for 3 years. So, yeah, I mean, that really is the question. What is one Bitcoin going to do? What will it be worth 3 years from now? That is the big question. We know that a Pepsi would probably be worth, what, at least half of what it is now? Let's say they're worth the 20,000 now, it'd probably be worth 10, right? I mean, it's probably going to drop in value. You know, it can't keep this huge premium forever. But it'll probably still be worth half, right? Still be worth 10 grand. So your maximum exposure there is probably $10,000 loss. Your maximum exposure on the Bitcoin, some people are saying it could go to 0. I don't see that happening. I think we've gotten beyond that. I think it's kind of here to stay at this point. My main concerns when I first started buying it were, what's the government going to do? How are they going to shut it down? Because I figured they would definitely want to. They would definitely want to shut it down, right? It's a real threat to their control. Their control. They like to have an iron fist. They like to be able to control everything, right? They can't control Bitcoin, so it's a real threat. So I figured they would figure out a way to shut it down. They haven't, and they've issued some regulatory clarity. And some big players are now buying in, with a public company like MicroStrategy buying in $425 million worth. There's a lot of big players now jumping in the game, and so it's going to be real difficult for the government to come in now and pull the rug out from underneath a lot of people and a lot of big organizations. It's one thing when it was a bunch of cyberpunks running around doing their thing. They could have shut it down then. They probably should have. But it might be too late now. Okay, so Durr says Biden sucks. And here's the thing on the presidential election. I don't get into politics that much here on the channel, but here's the thing. It really doesn't matter who won because they've been spending money like drunken sailors anyway. And they're going to, at some point, they're just not going to be able to keep printing money at the rate they are. At some point, the chickens are going to come home to roost. Is that the saying? But anyway, we'll see what happens when the money printer stops going burr. And when the musical chairs, right? When the music stops, there probably aren't going to be enough chairs for everybody. So we'll see what happens. There are people that have opined that they think Bitcoin is like Noah's Ark, right? You better get on the ark while you can. That's what they're saying. So that's kind of funny. We'll see how that all plays out. It's going to be entertaining to watch for sure. 2021 is going to be a wild year as the government stops, propping everything up, as they eventually have to stop doing all this quantitative easing and everything they're doing, right? Eventually, that'll just get so high. Here's the thing. Somebody did tweet, one of the elected officials did tweet that they should cancel all rents and all mortgages. Okay, so nobody should have to pay rent anymore, and nobody should have to pay on their mortgage anymore, right? So I was talking to my buddy I said, hey, why stop there? I mean, why not just say, listen, here's the deal. we're going to give every American $1 million, right? Every American gets $1 million. That should be enough for you to pay off your house and pay off your college debts, right? For anybody. For the most part, anybody that has more than $1 million in mortgage or student loan debts, they're probably already wealthy or whatever, so it's a moot point, right? But for the average person, $1 million would probably pay off their mortgage and pay off any student loan debts that they have in their family, right? So $1 million for the family, for the household, not for each individual. If you have 7 kids, you don't get $7 million, right? You get $1 million for the household. Okay, so everybody gets $1 million, right? So here's what happens then. It's kind of interesting because what happens is that the U.S. dollar will be totally devalued, right? It'll be worth like nothing. It'll be like the bolivar, right? And so everybody that is owed money around the world, everybody else is going to get caught holding the bag more so than the U.S. citizens, right? Because they don't have any savings to start with, right? The most of them. So the fact that the dollar would be totally devalued really wouldn't hurt them, right? It would just all the Chinese that have are holding debt, right? They're all going to be left with worthless paper, right? With nothing. Okay, you need a few million. Okay, we'll print those too and give them to you. I think it'd be kind of funny. What do you think? Do that. How's that going to work out? Lance could probably chime in. He's an intelligent guy. He's got a head on his shoulders, this guy Lance. Durr's in the house. He's always got some creative. Durr says $1 million wouldn't cover my tab at the Gentlemen's Club. Well, no, not once they totally devalue it. You'll have to go in $1 million. You'll be lucky if it gets you a cheeseburger. So there you go. But yeah, they'd be able to pay off all those. Somebody says he's going to take the one BTC. He's going to take the Bitcoin and run. I hear you. Bitcoin's over 19,000 again. Let me see if I can get it up on the computer here. Give me a second. Coinbase Pro. Let me see if I can get that up. If I get that to load, I'll give you a live feed on what's going on. Because no, it doesn't shut down at 4 o'clock. It keeps trading. It doesn't care. Bitcoin doesn't care what time it is, folks. Doesn't care what time it is. There you go. We're at 19,463. 19,463. Holding these kind of numbers for this period of time that it's been doing this, I think is extremely bullish. And these are high numbers, folks. And these numbers are tempting long-time holders, people that got their Bitcoin for $30 or got it for next to nothing. They mined it back in the very beginning, A lot of these folks are cashing out some of their Bitcoin. Maybe not all of it, but selling big chunks, right? Big chunks at these kind of numbers. When it gets up to this kind of number, you've got big players, long-time holders that are selling big chunks of Bitcoin. And the fact that it is still holding this high, this long, tells me that there are enough buyers out there to be absorbing that Bitcoin. They've got to be big money folks absorbing this Bitcoin, because there's been some pretty high volume in some of these on some of these candles. So if you extrapolate that out, at some point, those long-time holders are going to run out of Bitcoin that they're willing to sell. Either they will have sold it all, or they will have sold, the portion that they've allocated to sell. And then they're going to be done. Then they're going to be holding, right? There'll already be multi-millionaires, right? In some cases, probably billionaires. And they don't need to sell anymore. They'll have strong hands and start holding. And of course, the people that are buying at these numbers in volume, buying large amounts of Bitcoin, they're not going to sell anytime soon. They're long-term thinkers, right? The folks that are coming in now, the Michael Saylors of this world, he's not looking for a quick flip. He's a long-term guy. So this could get real interesting when the supply starts drying up. When these whales that have been selling, when that supply starts drying up, this could get interesting real fast, folks. Real fast. So every day that we hold these kind of numbers is very bullish. Very bullish. Because if you recall, last time we had the big run up in 2017, and then it flared out, that was mostly retail buyers. That was mostly speculators that were getting in for the quick buck, and you know, there was a real frenzy there. And then there was a big sell-off, and then there were no buyers, and then it couldn't sustain the price, right? And so it was a flash-in-the-pan type of thing. This has been much more durable. We've been holding these high numbers now for weeks, and it didn't hold the numbers last time for this period of time. We're in record territory now as far as the number of days over $18,000. We're in well into record territory. So this is very, very interesting. What we're all seeing transpire here with Bitcoin. Let's see. Kyle's in the house. It's so sad Craig lost his Bitcoin in a boating accident. Craig, what were you thinking ski jetting with your MacBook? Well, I was checking my email. I was trying to see if you guys, if we were going to have a show or something that day, and I had my computer out, and yeah, I just went to the bottom of the creek, I mean, I don't know what to do. It's just gone, and that happens. A lot of Bitcoiners have lost their Bitcoin in boating accidents. There's in the house. I heard Archie lost his Patex in a ladyboy accident. Oh my gosh. And 66 says, "Hi, Craig and everyone." Good. Oh, we're into the official show. So the question was a Pepsi. Let's see if I can find a Pepsi on Chrono 24. Let's see what the current price is today. We always like to be current. So let me find a Pepsi. Give me a second here. Pepsi. A Pepsi. Okay, here's one unworn. Okay. Here's one unworn for $19,725. So it tells me that you could buy this for probably $19,500 easily, right? The price of the Bitcoin. Is this it? Is this the only picture? No, they've got other pictures. So let's look here. This is as good as it gets. This is unworn Pepsi, right? So what do you think? An unworn Pepsi or one Bitcoin? What do you think would be the wise play? Let's see what people say, and then we'll revisit this discussion in, let's say, a year from now, and let's see how folks would have fared. We'll see what the Pepsi would be worth a year from now, and then we'll see what the Bitcoin will be worth a year from now. And we'll see. This is documented. This we're going to have documented record of this discussion, and we'll have to see how this whole thing works out. I'm guessing, if I had to guess, what will the Bitcoin be worth a year from now? It'll probably have a big run up. May was the halving, so a year after that would be May of next year. It's usually about 6 months after that. So May, June, July, August, September, October, around November, around the same time as the big run-up that we had in 2017, November, December-ish is when we're probably going to have the big run-up this time next year. So it'll be about a year from now. I think Bitcoin could be over $100,000. What do you guys think? Let me know in the chat. What do you think Bitcoin can hit when we have the next big run-up. This ain't it now, by the way. What we're seeing right now, this ain't the big run-up. This is the precursor. This is the, it'll go sideways for a while, and then it might go up a little bit, then it might go down some, then it might go sideways for quite a while, and then it might go up some. But the big run-up usually happens about 18 months or so after the halving. So that would bring it to November, December of next year for the big run-up. So let me know what you guys think will happen. Will history repeat itself? It's typically done this on every halving cycle. The halving is every 4 years, by the way. We have what's called the Bitcoin halving. So history has repeated itself 3 times now. We've had halvings. So we'll see what happens. Is that right? 3? Let's see. We had, the first one was 2012. Then 2016, then 2020. Yeah, so we've had 3 halvings so far. And each one has pretty much done the same routine. Let's see. Let's get caught up here. Kyle, lockdown going to effect by you. Going into effect by you. Is there a lockdown? I think everybody's starting to lock down again. I don't know if people are going to go along with it. I got into a Twitter thing. I made a comment about the masking and the lockdowns, that they really don't work. And everybody, all these mask holes came in. Let's get the 002 out here, and let's get the faux pay out on display. All the mask holes and the strong arm of the government folks. Oh, how can you say such a thing? Of course masks work. It's just common sense. I said, well, if you look at all the places that had heavy masking and heavy lockdowns, they got hit really hard. They didn't do any better than anywhere else. In some cases, they did a lot worse. Well, that's the reason they had the lockdown and masks is because it was bad. No, a lot of them did it preemptively. I mean, to keep it from getting bad. Still didn't work. So I don't see any correlation between mask wearing and lockdowns and all this and slowing the spread. It seemed like the thing did what it was going to do no matter what anybody did. This thing kind of gets around. And here's the problem with the mask and lockdowns. Here's the thing. People don't follow instructions properly. Okay? They don't do as they're told, right? And some people are just stupid, right? Some people just don't even know how to use a mask properly. It just doesn't work. In an ideal world, if everybody knew what they're doing and everybody was wearing, an N95 mask, the ones that actually work, and everybody was washing their hands before they put the mask on and taking the mask off and washing their hands again and following the procedures you're supposed to follow, not touching your face, not fooling with the mask, When I wear my mask, I fool with it all the time, The only time I wear it is when I go to Costco shopping, right? And I'm all the time pulling it down so that I can breathe and so my glasses aren't fogged up. And then I put it back up. So I'm always touching it, right? And I see other people doing the same thing. They're always touching their mask. That's not good. That's not, you touch your face and all, that makes you more at risk. So people don't use them properly. That's the thing. I mean, you can have all the good intentions in the world, but if people don't do it right, it's not going to work. And it is proven out that it hasn't worked. It hasn't slowed the spread pretty much anywhere. The thing is doing what the thing is going to do. Only way you can keep from getting it is stay away from anybody that might be infected. That means stay away from everybody. And do that. And if you're at major risk, you should do that. Stay away from everybody. Let's see. A year from now, you could buy 3+ of those watches with your one BTC. Conservative guess, $60K in a year. Okay, we got a prediction of $60K. Yeah, you aren't supposed to leave after 10 p.m., says Kyle. Sent 2 stunning Omega dress watches. Okay, we'll take a look, Lance. The local gas station put a Bitcoin ATM in it. I sent you pics, Craig. Okay, cool. Masks are like condoms. I just don't wear them. There you go. To anyone considering buying Craig's 231, I would say jump on it before he changes his mind. I bought his 005, and it was in near mint condition and shipped very quickly and packaging better than Joma. There you go. There's a testimonial. A testimonial. And if they buy my 231, guess what? They're going to get one of the most accurate 231s on the planet. That puppy is accurate. I'm telling you, that puppy is insanely accurate. Insanely accurate. By the way, I saw the new the Grand Seiko diver's watch. That's a 9F movement. Somebody has one in the Grand Seiko owners group for sale for like $3,200. That was pretty cool. That's pretty cool. Saw that today. Tom's in the house. Important for coiners with iron hands to keep coins in hardware wallets and off exchanges. Only a certain percentage is insured, just like banks. Tom. Yeah, well, if you've got a lot of Bitcoin, you should have a hardware wallet. I use a Trezor wallet, hardware wallet. I like it. But some people also want to put some of their Bitcoin to work and put it on like BlockFi. I think BlockFi are good folks. You can put it on there and you can get interest. So some folks want to put their Bitcoin to work. I can't believe I have to go to the bank wearing a bandana over my face like a criminal. Yeah, criminals must love this stuff. I heard the only way you get the thing is by voting Democrat. There you go. Well, they say no. If you vote Democrat, you don't get it. That if you're a Democrat, you don't get it, period, I think. I think that's how that whole thing works. All right, here. Lance, I'm going to check Lance's email here. Here's an Omega. That's a nice piece, but I've gotten away from steel and gold. I just don't see the need at this point. Very trim, very. It's an attractive piece. I'll grant you that. I don't like the lugs where they're kind of like welded on like that, but it is what it is. It's not hateful. So, okay, we'll give 1 thumbs up on that one. So let's check the next one that Lance sent. Lance sent 2. Oh, now we're starting to talk. Now we're starting to talk. But again, it's got the lugs that look like they're kind of stuck on the case. All right, let's see what we got here. This is interesting. This is interesting. Life is getting interesting, folks. Again, I don't like this look of these lugs, but, you know, it's still a pretty cool looking watch. Somebody's going to like that. Somebody's going to like that design. Very interesting. Not a bad price. I wonder, it must be small. Let's see the size of this thing. The only thing I can think of is it must be small. Yeah, 35 mil. So see, some people aren't going to like that size. I think it's cool. Let's see. It was limited to 466 pieces. 10-karat yellow gold, super rare. I think it's cool. I grant you that. That is a cool piece. That is a cool piece. For the price, 2 thumbs up for that puppy. 2 thumbs up for that puppy. Complications and all. Let's see. I've seen the JDM Grand Seiko 9F diver in person. It was really cool. Yeah, I think it's in the Grand Seiko owners owners club for sale, owners group or whatever on Facebook. It was posted for sale. Did Craig just admit to having a hardware wallet, Tom, in the house? Well, that's what I lost. That's what was lost overboard in the boat, in the boating accident. So there you go, together with my secret words. There's in the house. That's a classy looking gold moon phase Omega, but looks girl-sized. There you go. It would look good on Brianna's wrist, absolutely, but she loves the Grand Seiko, so let's not get her distracted. She loves her Grand Seiko. Did you guys see the picture of the Grand Seiko with the 002? Let me show you that. See if I can find it here. We'll tease you with the 231 while I locate this picture. This is a goodie. And loading kind of slow here, but I will get it. I will get it. I will find it. Maybe I won't. Maybe it's not here. Oh, no, there it is. This is the one I like. This is the photo. I'll show it to you. To be patient there, folks. This is the photo I like. This is the two gold stunners. The 038 SBGX038 on the left and the SBGY002 on the right. And the faux pay bracelet in the foreground. And of course the 038 is resting on a platinum, a 1 ounce platinum coin. So there you go. Actually it's resting on a platinum coin and a gold coin. The gold coin's underneath the platinum coin. So there you go. That's what we use for props around here is gold and platinum coins. So that's how that works. Tom says, lost my rifle in a similar boating accident. Tragic. I heard Jimmy Hoffa got lost in a boating accident with cement shoes. Very possible. Very, very possible. You don't want to get sideways to those guys. That's not a good plan. By the way, I might have a surprise for you next week. I'm doing a video on another pair of Lucchese boots. I was going through a bunch of my stuff that's in storage, and I stumbled across another pair of boots that I had from years ago, and these came out of the San Antonio factory as well, the original factory. These, I think, dated from about 1982-ish. And I'd forgotten that I had them. They're cognac. They're a color that I really didn't like that much. I don't know why I got them in the first place. I know why I got them, because it kind of goes with khakis, and I wanted a pair of boots that I could wear with khakis. But I just got to the point where I didn't really like wearing boots with khakis. But I think I'm going to start doing it again, because I always wear Bill's khakis. And so I think I might start wearing the Lucchese's again. So I dug them out, and they're all dusty, but they're still in good shape. They're alligator, and they've got buffalo, I believe buffalo leather on the... No, not buffalo. I'm sorry. That's my black ones. They've got goat skin on the shafts. Very nice. I began... San Antonio Lucchese's are about as good as you can get, when made in the original factory. So anyway, I dropped them off at my cobbler. He's cleaning them up and going through them a little bit. He's not, they're original soles, original heels. He's not having to do anything major to them. He's just conditioning them and cleaning them up and all that. And so I'll do a video on them next week, and I'll talk about them some next week. I looked on the Lucchese website, and a similar pair in today's prices is almost $5,000. I was like, whoa, wow, okay. I didn't know they were that expensive. But yeah, that's how things go. That's the boots haven't gotten that much more expensive. The dollar has gotten that much less valuable. See, that's something that really illustrates. I think those things were around $700 back in '82, right? If I remember correctly, I think they're around $700, and now they're close to 5,000. So that's how much the dollar has devalued. In that time frame. As a matter of fact, I think they were closer to 500. I think they were like 550 in 1982. Okay, so does GF make a 9F diver? Yes, that's what we were just talking about. I think it's Japan market only, and there's one that it was listed for sale on the Grand Seiko owners group in on Facebook. So go check it out. I think he had it listed for $3,200. That's a good price. Durr is ruthlessly honest with his watch assessments. Well, he should be. And we should get him to get rid of some of those surplus watches that he doesn't need and some of those ugly watches he owns. There's no reason for him to keep ugly watches around. He's got a day-date now, and he's got a faux pay. He's got a day-date and a faux pay, so there's no reason why he needs an ugly watch. He can get rid of all his ugly watches. We should have him Skype in, and we should do an intervention. We should go through his watches and tell him which ones he needs to discard. And it might be almost all of them except for the day-date. We might just tell him, hey, keep the day-date and wear it and don't pass go. All right, we got an email came in. Let me check this out. Check this out. By the way, this is not going to be a full-length show, I don't think. I think we're going to cut this one early because I did start early. And so we might have to do that. Okay. Here's a Submariner. Okay, Submariner. So did that's a Submariner no date. Kyle, do tell. Did you get a Submariner no date? I know that's what you wanted. Did you get one? Are we breaking news here on the channel? Please do tell. Do tell. That's a stunner. I'm not a big fan of the super case, but if I was going to get a super case, that'd probably be the one I would get. The no date sub. Probably be the way to go. That does look good. I have to tell you, that does look nice. Super case or not. That looks pretty cool. Looks pretty cool. Okay, we're waiting. Got it this afternoon. Whoa! And you didn't tell us? We could have done a special on that. Holy cow. Did you trade the Cameron? Do tell. Do spill your guts here. We want to hear the details. That looks like a sea dweller. It's so big on Kyle's wrist. No, I think it looks great on his wrist. I think it looks cool. I think it's perfect. Yeah. The lugs are much slimmer on the new one. Yeah, this one does look better. Well, I mean, I can't really tell, but I mean, I'm just saying my overall impression of this particular watch that we're looking at right now, it looks pretty cool. I think it looks pretty cool. Yes, I do. Now, if he could just Skype in, and we would really know the deal. We would really know the deal. And Tom is saying, Kyle, call in. Baby champion to the James Cameron. Congratulations, Kyle. That's a beautiful watch and one of Rolex's best pieces. Yeah. Yeah, I feel I got it at a different authorized dealer. I sold the James Cameron. Oh, cool. Well done, Kyle. Wheeling and dealing, making things happen, in motion. This is what this channel's all about, people being in motion. People being in motion and making things happen. Let's see here. Durr says, LOL, I knew that James Cameron wasn't going to last long. I gave it a year and it only took a week. Kyle making moves. Yeah. Kyle the flipper. Tom in the house. Tom's crying. He's laughing so hard. I love it. I love people making moves. You know, these young folks, these youngsters out here, I love these guys making moves out there, you know, juggling for position, jockeying for position. Just like that, the jockey going down the straight, the final straight. And they enter the clubhouse turn, whatever the announcer says. And it's 1 furlong to go, and Tom is out ahead. Kyle coming up strong. Okay. Durr called it. No, he was off by almost a year. Let's see. I think I owned it for 5 days. There you go. Cameron too big, says Kevin. I think that this is a good move. I think this is a stunner alert. Stunner alert on the channel. We're breaking news as usual on this channel. Wow. That's all I can say is wow. And I'd like to get Kyle, if you can call in. If you can't call in tonight, I'll tell you, Bree would love to have you to call in on her show and give more detail on this piece and how comfortable it is on wrist and the clasp and everything. We need a full, detailed, in-depth, with gory details report on this stunner. And I wonder if the date, being sans date, I wonder if it makes it a little thinner because they don't have that date wheel in there. Does anybody have the straight skinny on that? How thick this watch is versus if it was a Submariner date? Is there a difference? Let's see. Because if it's thinner, then, oh my gosh, that's even another reason why. First of all, I'd rather not have the date, period. Just because in this day and age, we always have our phone with us. Back in the day, when we were buying Rolexes, and you know, yeah, I had a cell phone, but it didn't have the date on it. You know, you needed the date on your watch because you were always writing checks and you know, paper checks, right? You remember that? You guys probably don't. But you know, you have to put the date on there and stuff. You're signing a contract. You're writing out a purchase order for somebody buying a car. You need to look. You need to have the date, right? We needed the date on our watches back in the day. Now we don't need it. Our phone is just a tap away. We've got the day and the date right there. We really don't need it on our watches anymore. So I think it's a big move to have it clean, have a much cleaner look, and not have to mess with months that are less than 31 days, you know, mess with all that nonsense, and just don't have the date on there. And when you're setting the time, you don't have to worry about whether it's AM or PM and all that foolishness. You just set the time, make sure the second hand's in sync, and you just get up and keep on going. That is, to me, that's a big advantage, to just straight up not have the date. I'm telling you right now, I wish my 231 didn't have the date. I would be tickled pink if it did not have the date. So let us know, is it a little bit thinner because it doesn't have the date? Do we get thinness as part of the deal? Because the benefit of thinness cannot be overstated. Let's see here. Tom says, looks so clean. Oh, excuse me. Oh, boy. Without the Cyclops. That is a lifetime watch. Yes. And you know what? I bet you it's also less complicated to service it. I bet you that's a plus, too. If I wasn't driving right now and didn't just polish off a bottle of champagne alone at the AD, I'd call. There you go. Be careful, Kyle. Be careful. And let us know if you can call in to tomorrow night's show. Bree would love to have you call in and talk about the watch. Let's see. You just admitted to drinking and driving. Right after I sold the Deep Sea, the AD in Santa Monica called and told me my no-date sub had arrived. It was meant to be, I guess. Yeah. Oh, crap. I take that back, says Kyle, and he's laughing out loud. And texting, too. And watching the show. Oh, no. Oh, no. I'll tell you, the mask holes are going to put an end to all of this. They're going to put an end to all the. My gosh, you all think that you can be so free as to just go out and buy a watch and then drive back and be on a live show and so on and so forth. You really think you have that kind of freedom? Okay, you got another thing coming. Another thing coming entirely. Okay, let me check and see. If we get, I got to show this again. I got to show this stunner again before I check and see if we've got any other emails. But that be the stunner. I'm going to get a screen grab of that while I can, because that's a stunner alert. Stunner alert on the channel. Get a little screen grab of that. Okay, and let's go back to the inbox. It's a sub 41 2020. A sub 41 2020. I forgot it's 41 millimeters. That looks cool, though. Really looks cool. All right, that's it. We're caught up on the we are caught up on that. Okay, so Craig, what do you regret more, losing your Bitcoin or selling your tortoise boots? Here's the thing. Those boots that they were, I believe they were sea turtle. I thought they were alligator, but I believe they were sea turtle. Somebody said they were sea turtle. It looked like alligator. Those boots were never comfortable on my feet. They were Nakonas, I think, and I just didn't wear them. I wore them a little bit when I first got them, and they just never were comfortable like the Lucchese's. And so I would love to have a pair of Lucchese's that same color, out of sea turtle, that same exact color. They were gorgeous boots. But no, that's when you got boots that just don't feel right and just don't fit right, that's not a good situation. And I'll tell you, the first pair of Lucchese's I bought, pre-made, off the rack, whatever you want to call them. And the guy said, okay, you got to get 10.5, and they'll stretch to fit your feet. They were tight when I put them on. And he said, oh, that's fine. That's normal, right? And these were just calf skin, right? They weren't exotics. And he said, oh, they'll mold your feet and they'll be perfect, right? Yeah, molded my feet all right. I wore those and they killed my feet. I couldn't break those in to save my life. And so I got discouraged. And so I contacted Lucchese, and they said, listen, you want to know the truth? The only way to really get boots to fit right is to have your own last made, and then we'll make them based on your last. And they're not full custom boots, if you will. They just measure your feet and all, and they make a last. They take one of their last and they kind of build it up and they shape it and they put stuff on it and they modify it basically to mimic your foot. And then they put your name on it, and then they keep it. And whenever you need boots, you just order whatever boots you want, and they use that last to make them. And so it's not, technically speaking, full custom boots, but they're building them on your last. and it helps a lot. So I had my 2 pairs that I have now, actually 3 pairs total, made that off my lasts, and they fit great. They feel great on my feet. They're just a joy to wear. They're like wearing slippers. Those Nakonas, they never felt that good. They never felt like that, unfortunately. And that's why I ended up selling them. And somebody got a nice pair of boots, and if they fit them properly and they feel good, hey, more power to them. But I have 3 pairs of Lucchese's that were made on the last, made for me, and those all 3 fit like great. Like they feel like slippers on my feet. So that's the way to do it. And I believe they'll still do it at the factory where they are now. I had mine made 2 pairs at the original San Antonio factory and 1 pair after they moved into the new factory. They moved in like 1987, 86, 87-ish. And the black pair that I have they're actually Cayman crocodile, okay? They're actually Cayman, and Cayman can be good if it's cut properly and done properly. Mine are very nice. And those do have buffalo on the shaft, on the upper, right? Those were made in the new factory, the newer factory. And they did move all the lasts from the old factory to the new factory. So they still have my last. I could call them up and say, hey, I need another pair of boots, and they could make a pair of boots on that last, but I don't need any more boots. I'm good. I'm good for boots. So it's pretty wild what they do. Let's see. Kevin says, did the AD that you purchased the sub at buy your Cameron? Kyle says, no, I sold it to a local watch dealer in LA. He was very good to me. Okay. Kyle, I like the dial on the Cameron, but the watch was so large on my wrist. I'll be lying if I said it was comfortable. Maybe after more than a couple days, I would have gotten used to it. Not sure now. No, I don't think you would have, Kyle. No more than me getting used to those boots that didn't fit. Lance is in the house. Craig, if someone offered to give you a new Submariner, no date, but you would have to give them the 231 and a pair of Lucchese's, would you do it? Let's see. A 231 and a pair of Lucchese's. Well, it depends on which pair. Yeah, I would give them the 231 and my ostrich Lucchese's, because I really don't hardly wear the ostrich ones at all. I wear the black ones. I don't wear cowboy boots that often, period. And when I do, I wear the black ones, generally speaking. The ostrich ones, the light color ones, I almost never wear. So yeah, I would do that trade. Absolutely. And those ostrich boots are beauties. I mean, they're full quill ostrich on the bottom and smooth ostrich on the shaft. They're high end as well, but I just don't wear them. So yeah, I'd make that trade. Now, I'm planning on wearing the alligator ones that I'm getting cleaned up. I'm planning on wearing them more. I'm going to give it a try. I'm going to try to wear them with my khakis and wear them more often, because it's kind of wasteful to have these boots sitting and high end, really nice boots and not even be using them. So I'm going to try to start using them again. But that's why I sold my Gucci's. My Gucci loafers, because I just wasn't wearing them, right? I mean, you just can't keep everything around when you're not using it. It's just not a good play. So if it turns out I don't use the alligator ones and all, I might put them up for sale. So, yeah. Durr says, when boots don't fit right, I call them Democrat boots, because Democrats are never a good fit for anything outside of picking up the dog poop in my backyard. Uh-oh. Durr is not big on the Democrats. He's not big on the Democrats. All right, folks, we're going to wrap it up. So let me know. Put any comments in the chat. Anything we need to deal with before I go. And I got a nice walk today, this afternoon, several hours out. Well, not several, probably 2.5 hours. Words have meanings, folks. Several is, I think, 3 or 4 is several. And so, no, I wasn't walking for 3 or 4 hours. I was walking for about 2, maybe a little more. But so that would be a few. The term would be a few then, right? Two or 3 is like considered like a few, right? Probably 3 or 4 could be considered several. So yeah, we try to be accurate on this channel. What else? I think that's it. I think we're caught up. Let's see what Bitcoin's doing. Looks like it's nuzzling up close to 19,500. It's $19,476. $19,476. This is amazing. I did not think we would be this high in 2020. I did not think. Of course, I didn't think the money printer was going to go burr as much as it has been. Let's see. A couple is 2, a few is 3, and so several would be 4 or 5. Would that be considered several? I think 3, 4, or 5 could all be considered several, but probably 4 or 5 is probably several. Tom is in the house. Let's keep going till Kyle gets home and calls in. Dur's in the house. Craig, I sent you an email with the Bitcoin ATM. Okay, let's look at that. For some reason, it's not loading in here. Dur, I don't know what happened. I'm not seeing it. I'm in my inbox, and I just ain't seeing it. I'm going to archive these others here that Lance sent in. You might need to resend that. Yeah, try it again and let me know when you've resent it, and we'll try to pull it up. Those ATMs probably have pretty high fees. Oh, excuse me. We can do that, but I had to pick up pizza for Leslie, so it will be a bit longer, LOL. Several is 3 or more, but a few is also 3. Okay. So yeah, I think several could be considered like 3, 4, or 5. Many would be like, 6, 7, 8, 9. I walked for many hours, would probably be like, 7, 6, 7, something like that, 5. Kyle's in the house. I just realized Dur changed his pick to the billionaire preacher. Forgot his name. Okay, so here's the thing. Kyle, can you call in tomorrow? Because Bree doesn't have a guest, and she would love to have you guys call in and talk about the timepiece on tomorrow's show. Are you guys available, or are you guys busy? LA going on complete lockdown for 3 weeks. Craig, what do you order at Chinese restaurants? I have to be honest with you. I love combination fried rice, but I do not have them put shrimp or anything like that in there. I don't trust their shrimp, right? And if I don't want to trust their combination fried rice, I'll just get pork fried rice. You can't go wrong with pork fried rice. Even when I was in Rome and we wanted to get something to eat in the park, we went to a Chinese restaurant and I ordered pork fried rice in Rome, right? I mean, my gosh, you can get any kind of food you want there, right? Pork fried rice, you can't go wrong. It's always good anywhere you get it. So, yeah. Okay, just sent the email again. Duck and pancakes, hopefully. Okay. Yeah, I like that too. Okay, finally they both came through now all at once. All right, let me pull this up. I like the duck with the pancakes and the sauce and all that. Yeah, that's a good thing. This is pretty cool. That's pretty cool looking. Bite Federal? Your Bitcoin ATM? Interesting. Made in USA. Wow. Well, that's kind of cool. So, did you try it? Did you test it? I'd be interested to know how these things work and what the fees are. Interesting. Shrimp is the best part. Yeah, but sometimes their shrimp can be marginal. You got to be careful, especially if you're traveling. The last thing you want to do when you're traveling is get sick from some food, right? So you want to be really careful. I like sweet and sour Wuhan bat. There you go. Absolutely. Oh boy. All right. I'm still waiting for Kyle to let us know if he would be able to call into tomorrow's show, but we better be careful because we're distracting him and he's picking up food and everything else. So we've been going for 56 minutes, including the pregame show, coming up on 57 minutes. And I think we're going to wrap it up. Oh, excuse me. The second pick showed the price of Bitcoin, $22K. They also sell several other altcoins. 22,000? What? All right, let me pull this up. Hold on here. Wait, the second one is the one I showed. Okay, I didn't see the difference. All right, let me go back. Oh, there's two images attached. Oh, I see, says the blind man. All right, I see. Why in the heck would they be charging $22,333? Talk about markup. Holy cow. Talk about a margin. Why in the heck would they be charging that much? I thought Grayscale had big fees. Grayscale Bitcoin Trust. That is ridiculous. $22,333. Woo. Okay. Our Wags in the House Kyle Jet. Are you thinking of Kenneth Copeland with 3 private jets? Kyle, will you have a video on your channel about the sub? Kyle, I don't think I can call in tomorrow, unfortunately, because I'm driving to Santa Barbara for the weekend. I won't be done with work until after the show is over. Okay, no worries. We'll do it sometime next week. Yes, Kenneth Copeland, that's him. Let's see here. I guess I missed that part. Okay, so here's the thing. The Grayscale Bitcoin Trust has some pretty significant fees and stuff associated with it, but it really is the only way if you want to get some exposure to Bitcoin in your Roth IRA or something like that. Buying GBTC, the Grayscale Bitcoin Trust, is probably about your only way to do it. And these fees that these things charge, they're ridiculous. I mean, probably they make the Grayscale Bitcoin Trust seem cheap. Yes, I'll be posting a video later today of the pickup on my channel. Cool. We will check it out. Let's see. All the Kenneth Copeland songs about the thing are hilarious on YouTube. All right, and here's the thing. Here's the thing with this whole thing. They started out, what'd they start out? 2 weeks to slow the spread, right? Do your thing. Do your civic duty, right? You know, we're going to be going on a year here, and they're going to still be saying, oh, you got to do your civic duty. You know, you got to worry about your comrade, right? We're all in this together, and so on and so forth. At some point, you got to say, hey, you know, I got to work. I got to feed my family. I got to do what I got to do, right? At some point. So, yeah. I don't know. It's all. And like I say, the chickens are going to come home to roost when they run out of money. When the money printer can no longer go burr, and all the kittens that they've been feeding milk to are all going to be clamoring and starting to starve and so on. And you talk about unrest. You talk about things going crazy. Things could go crazy. They could go nuts, folks. Things could go nuts. You can buy MicroStrategy stock. Yeah, and people have been doing that. It has gone crazy. It has gone crazy. That's funny. I think it's hilarious that that he's doing what he's doing. I mean, you got to give Michael Saylor credit. I mean, he buys it. He puts hundreds of millions of dollars in Bitcoin and then pumps the what out of it. Oh my gosh, what a move. He's not a billionaire. He doesn't count his money with a B for nothing, right? He's not a billionaire for nothing. He kind of knows what he's doing. I think it's pretty hilarious. I mean, just sit back and laugh. You just got to have a sense of humor here, folks. You got to have a sense of humor. A sense of humor. That's what you got to have on the channel. All right, we're going to wrap it up. Wrap it up. We've been going over an hour. We've been going over an hour. We've been going an hour and coming up on 3 minutes. So, let's see. It's all set up for mandatory vaccine. Craig, what altcoin would Tudor be? Just about any altcoin would do. Yeah. That's cause he's the bull. That's for sure. Kenneth Copeland is a bull. Okay. It's pretty cool that Brianna kind of invented that bull thing, and now it's like getting all over crypto Twitter. Other people are using it and stuff. And then she's got a bunch of GIFs out there too. You just search Brief Fit Dance when you go to insert a GIF in a tweet, and she's got a bunch of them. Let's go 3 hours today, says Durr. Maybe next time. Maybe next time we'll have a marathon show. Stay tuned to the channel. Hey, click subscribe and click the bell.